Before becoming a mom, my aunt, who I love dearly, I think she is a wise, wise woman. She said something to me. She said, "You're going to have to learn how to ask for help." And I didn't fully understand what she meant at the time. I was like, okay, yeah, I can ask for help, but I don't know if I'm going to really need help. And I learned quickly what she meant. And I thought that today we could talk about why, as mothers, it's so important to ask for help, and yet like what stops us from asking for help. Because I think actually often, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that we know how to ask for help. Like what type of help, how do I ask for it? I feel uncomfortable around it. And so I thought today let's talk about asking for help as mothers and what gets in the way for us. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Dr. Piper Grant. I am a licensed clinical psychologist. I am also a mom of 2 girls, and I love, love, love being a mother, but I am also realistic about the fact that it is hard, it is challenging, and it has been life-changing for me. And so in this space, we talk about all of that, and sometimes have the conversations about things that I wish that I had heard more about in early days of motherhood. And today I want to talk about asking for help. I don't know about you, but if you've ever struggled to ask for help or felt guilty about it or thought you were a failure or like just didn't even know like what to ask for help around, stay. Let's talk about it. If it's not you, then hallelujah. I am so happy. Please drop in the comments. Tell us more about how you did that or learned how to ask for help. But I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about my aunt and what she said to me and what I learned so quickly. And one of the things she said after is she was like, you're gonna have to learn how to ask for help. And you're also gonna have to learn how to accept help coming towards you in ways that maybe aren't exactly how you do it. And again, she is a wise, wise woman. I love her dearly. And I learned so quickly what she meant by that is that 1, mothering is not meant to be done in a silo. Mothering is meant to be done in community, in village, in support of other people. And that doesn't mean we necessarily need people helping us with the baby or the children, but we need also help around us for taking care of all those things and all those tasks around us. But the second part of what she said that was so important to me is like receiving help in ways that might be different of how we're gonna do it. And I remember learning this early on is that my mom was there for me when I had my eldest, my first child. My mom was staying close to us. And I remember sitting in my living room and I'm watching her do my dishes. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for helping me do the dishes. And I don't think that I'm like an anal, I'm not super anal retentive about like things have to be put exactly this, but I remember watching how she was washing the dishes and the sponge, the use of the sponge and this and that. And I was thinking in my head, oh my God, that's not how that's not how I would do it. That's not how I would want it done. And I thought about my aunt and I was like, but this is it. This is it. Like, here is my mother gifting my help. The way that she's doing it is not going to cause any harm. It's not going to break anything. It's not like that. It's not cleaning the dishes. I would just do it differently. But I needed to be okay with receiving help in a way that also might be different than how I do it. And I think that that can be a little bit of a bind, right? There's like both receiving, we want to be able to receive help around things that we need help with. It was very helpful. And then also though, letting go of it being done in exactly the way I'd want it to be done. Versus sometimes people might want to help, let's just say if you have a small baby, they want to come help with the baby. And maybe you don't want help with the baby. Maybe you need help again with like the dishes or the housework or something like that. I think as children get older, it's also still difficult though to ask for help. How do you ask a friend like, hey, I'm having a hard day. I just need to talk. Or is it possible to help with cooking a meal for me? Or are you able to help with sending something over? Or could you help with just taking care of the kids? I need a little bit of a moment to just like get my brain back online. This can be so vulnerable. It can be so scary. It can feel so riddled with self-judgment or fear of judgment from others. And I've been thinking a lot about like, where does that come from? Why is that there for us? If motherhood is not meant to be done in isolation, why do we hesitate so much in asking for help? And there's a few things that I've come up with. I think 1, there is this supermom myth, right? Of like being able to do it all. And so this idea of asking for help means in some sort of way that we are like a failure or not competent in motherhood or not able to actually do mothering the way that we're supposed to be doing. But I also think that there's self-imposed expectations. There are there's our own embedded ideas about what it means to ask for help. When I often work with women and ask them about like, where's their community? Where are those around them? What stops you from reaching out and asking to connect with other women, connect with other moms, or ask for, like a hand to help? The idea that the thing that women will often say, and I know for myself too, is like, well, this idea that it means that they're a failure, something's wrong with them, that people are going to judge them, that somebody's going to say, no, I can't help you. So this idea of being let down, or that the help isn't going to be in the way that they're going to need it, kind of to like what I was talking about before. And all of these self-imposed assumptions and judgments, or fear of judgments or assumptions by other people, absolutely stops us. It 100% stops us from being able to like engage in asking for help, and also then just building community. There's an aspect in asking for help that actually I think people often miss, is that people can, not everybody, but some people enjoy helping. And when we don't ask for help, we actually take away the opportunity to build more intimate, vulnerable relationships. Here's an example. I might get emotional even talking about it. I had my second child, and I went over to a friend's house. My eldest must have been in playgroup because I was solo with the baby. And I went over to a friend's house, and she was like, how are you doing? I don't even remember fully because I was in full postpartum, like not only in postpartum mental like struggle, but I was also just in the postpartum phase. But I was definitely in a little bit of postpartum depression and fatigue at that point. And what I remember is coming over to her house, and I had the baby. She's like, how are you doing? And I'm pretty sure I broke down at her table. I still feel it. I'm pretty sure I broke down at her table, and I was just like, I'm exhausted. I can't think straight. I'm not sleeping. Like, I'm just really, and I said it to her, I'm really struggling right now. And she said, well, what do you need? Like, what would be helpful? I was like, I wish I could just sleep. I just need to sleep. And I remember her saying, would you like me to take the baby and you go to my guest room and just sleep? And it was this will forever stay with me, because it was such a gift to me of love. I had really shown up in vulnerability of just like, I'm really struggling. She met me there with it. She was like, if the baby wakes up and wants to feed or needs anything, I will wake you up. So you don't need to worry. You're right here. I'm right here. We're going to be okay. And I think I slept for a solid 3 hours. I think I slept solid for 3 hours. And I remember waking up and being like, oh my gosh, that was the best gift that I could have received in that moment. And I will tell you, it honestly came from two things. Me showing up vulnerably and just saying I need help, and then her being able to meet me there. And that to me, like, not only was so helpful for me, but it also helped us build a friendship in which we could be honest with each other about the struggles and know and trust each other that we will be there for each other. And that's what I mean is, like, when we also don't ask for help, we take away the opportunity to build relationships. We take away the opportunity to build deep connection that is trusting with others. And so if you're able to find ways to ask for help, it will also allow you to build greater community. Okay, so when we think about really asking for help, I think there's a few steps that we need to take. First and foremost, you got to get clear on what you're asking for. Are you thinking that you need practical help, emotional help, relational help, mental health help? Ask yourself the question, what would make today easier? Just like my friend asked me, actually. She was like, what do you think you need? And sometimes it's not necessarily I said sleep, but sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I just need help like with organizing my life. Okay, so there's something practical there. Is it relational? Are you needing your partner to step in and help you with something? Is it emotional? Are you needing emotional support? I'm just feeling really overwhelmed right now. I realize that today I'm just feeling overwhelmed, and I would just need somebody like to sit and talk with me, or just sit there and be with me as I cry. Whatever, lay in bed. I've jumped in bed with friends and just be like, do we just need to lay here? I can lay here with you. I can just be another warm body next to you that doesn't need anything from you, doesn't have to speak to you. Totally fine. So really asking yourself again that question, what would make today easier? And narrow down, is it emotional? Is it relational? Is it mental health? Is it practical? And then we're moving into how to ask for help. I would say start small. You know, if you are feeling self-conscious about it or in any way hesitant, just start small. Start with little things. Not a big, like, can you even cook a meal for me? But maybe just like, oh, do you have 10 minutes to chat? Maybe that feels more vulnerable for you than, oh my gosh, I haven't been able to like organize us this week. I'm overwhelmed. I don't have any meals prepared this week. Asking a friend if it's possible, if they could just help you out and cook a meal or send a meal your way even. If that feels like too much for you, then think about what would be a very small step. Asking a friend to catch up for a coffee, to go for a walk. Would it be asking a friend, hey, would you be able to come over and just watch the kids for just like 30 minutes, or just bring your kids over and be with the kids while I like sit in my room and I organize something, or I like, you know, there's my closet. It's been overwhelming me. It drives me crazy every single day that I look at it and I really need some time to get through it. Would it be possible to like come over and sit with the kids? Okay. Would it be possible for me to send my kids over there for 30 minutes? Would it be possible this or that? Just think about what would make life easier and what are little steps underneath that to maybe that are comfortable for you to ask, and then move forward with that. I think also is having a script sometimes is helpful, not for everybody, but something like, hey, I'm really struggling today. Would you have 10 minutes to talk? Hey, I'm feeling a little down about something, or I'm feeling a little blank about some things. Would it be possible for you to blank? Easy script. And I say tell the feeling before, because then it makes sense why you're asking it. I'm feeling really overwhelmed by it. I'm feeling overwhelmed today. Would it be possible to just like come over and hang out so like my kids can play with your kids? Okay, great. Lastly, and I think this is something I often end with, but really seeing if you're able to, for yourself, dismantle what are the ideas that you hold, or what are the hindrances that you have that get in the way of asking for help. If you tell yourself, I ask for help and that means X, how do you counter that? So if I ask for help and that means I am a failure, how do you counter that? Do you really think that if a friend asked you for help, that you would think that they were a failure? I guarantee, I think most likely not. If you're watching this, I don't think that you are part of the community that would think that. So what do you think about your friend? Oh my gosh, I think that they're super vulnerable. I think that they're super brave. I think that they are super in touch with themselves. Whatever it might be, apply that to yourself. If I ask for help, I believe blank about me. And if it is negative, how do you counter that? I have learned, and I feel this deeply. I feel this deeply for myself. I feel this deeply for my friends. I think that asking for help used to be one of the scariest or most fearful things that was just riddled with all these different negative beliefs. And now I strongly believe it is one of the bravest things that we can do. I think it is one of the most vulnerable things that we can do. I think it's actually one of the most loving things that we can do, both for ourselves, but for those that love us, because like they also want to be able to step in and help and provide and support. And if you can think of it as bravery, if you can think of it as an act of love for self and those around you, I hope that it would actually give you the confidence to be able to bring those supports in, ask for those supports, build community around you, be that person that offers help but also can receive help. So go be brave, think about what it is that would make your day easier today, and see if you can ask for a little support and help. If this resonates with you, please like, subscribe, follow, find us on Instagram, find us on YouTube, do all the things. I hope to see you. Thank you.